Okay, this talks about how to update the 41CL through the serial port. The thing we're going to do is going to go through what's the different version of the CL and the documents where you can find the information, the different management module available in the CL for that allow us to do the updates. The function, how we're going to use the RAM to copy over the flash to the RAM in order to update part of it. And we're going to go through the different, how to have those images, where to get the image, how to synchronize them, and then we're going to do a manual update and then a semi-automatic update that I've done for update my 41CL. When you want to update the 41CL through the serial port, basically you have two ways of doing this. Either that you update a sector. A sector is a 41CL, it's 64K, and it's store 8 ROM image of 8 Ks. Okay, so you cannot in Flash working sector, you cannot update just one ROM image. You have to, the only way you can do is update the 8 images at the same time. So what you do is basically take the flash, copy this to a RAM, update the RAM version of just the one that you want to update, and then erase the flash, copy the RAM version to the flash over the flash. Okay? That's when you want to update only one image. If you want to update the 8 images at the same time, then you don't need to copy from flash to RAM. You just need to erase the RAM, load the ROM image into the RAM, and then erase the flash, copy over. So that's basically the two paths that you're going to do. Okay. When I was doing this, several persons helped me. Then Monte helped me a lot, asking, I was having some questions, came back. Angel also helped indirectly with all these ROM is doing. I use a program from, I don't know how to pronounce it, Gary Zen. He wrote a Ruby program in order to do the transfer from the PC side to the CL. I used that as a baseline, modified it for my needs, and then I'm using different things. And then Rabbi and Dave who help me all the time. Okay, this is where you can get some of the information. You get a 41CL home. If you want to have get manuals, ROM, everything is there, basically. Also, some of the ROM, if there is not there, or you want to have an update of that it's Monte has not put it up on his website, you can go to the 41.org. Normally it's there. Also, museum. I'm going to create an article to all. This presentation will be part of an article that I'm going to write and post that on the museum under the article section next month. This is all the reference for the manual that you may need to do an update or understand the 41CL. Okay, there were several 41 CL board made. Okay, the first one was the alpha, only Monte has one. The second one is the beta. There was 22 board made, and I think Jeff has one, Namir has one. There's a couple of person here who has one. I don't have one. And yes?
How can I determine which board I have? It's on board. Without.
Well, it's written on the board. I don't know about the beta ones, but about the V2, V3, and V4, it's written on the board.
So I have to take a partial calculator again?
Yes. You can find them indirectly which one you have. Okay, I can show you how to do this.
Let's say you have a V3. How do you tell whether you have first or later?
While you erase the sector,
I think I have a V3, but I'm not sure.
yeah, the trick is, it's written in the manual. You have to erase the sector, and if the sector erase is 64K, then you have one version. If you 8K, you have, because we have first batch and later batch on V3,
okay.
And that even if you know that you have a V3, you have to check which one you have. Okay, if you want to update the OS, you have to do this. Okay, and V3, V4, the only difference in the V4 is then you can do CL to CL communication. Except for that, it's the same. And on the software side, on the update side, it's the same.
Okay.
Okay. Now V2 and V3/V4 are different.
Yeah, I really don't know. I've never installed it, so.
Okay. Basically, on the V3 and V4, you have 4 mega flash. That means that you have 64 sector of 8 image. That means you can have up to 512 ROM image. Okay. On the V2, you got half of this, so you can have 256 ROM image in it.
And it's about full. It's about full of ROM images now for the 41. Monty's getting to where he's going to have to start deciding for his main image whether to toss some ones out that he really doesn't think anyone will ever use.
Yeah, the V2 is full for a long time. V4, I know because I update my 2012 and it's about, I update 500 image. So it takes some time.
Did he consider going to 8 megabyte flash chips?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't talked about them around.
They're available. I don't know if he can address that much.
Yeah. Okay, the ROM image that we needed to do that control exactly the CL are these one. Okay, basically the one that the first two contain the database of all the image that he has into the flash. So when you update 41CL, the first 2 files that you need to upload are those 2 files. The database, and then the second one is the FLDB, who contain all the CRC of all the ROMs. Okay, so you update them, and then you do this through the third one, with the Y, F, and Z. That's the basic function that it's when the MMU is off, when you start the CL, and the memory management unit is not active, this one is always active and mapped to H7, the place where the HPIL is. So when you start a 41CL, never plug an HPIL at the same time, it's going to crash. Okay, that's how you do this. That happened to me all the time. The other one are more advanced, and also you're going to see at some point that you have to be aware that if you use that, then those functions in the program, they're using the same XROM ID. So you have to note somewhere which one you use, because the function is not mapped exactly for the same functionality. I've created this that lists all the different ROM with the XROM ID, and then you see that those are the same, but different function on the same XROM. So that's the part that you have to check. Also, we're going to use the RAM. I'm going to use those RAM pages when I copy from flash to RAM. Okay, that's on those pages I'm going to use to have a copy to update and then write over to the flash. Okay, that's baseline creation. The first thing, when I have three 41CL. I have a V2, a V3, and a V4. And the V2, V3 was dated in 2011 and 2012. And the V4 was 2015. And I want to update the V3 2012. So the first thing I did is to went to the Monte website and say, okay, what do I need to do this? So the first thing is that to download the CSV file, PDF version and the CSV version. Okay, so in the CSV version, I load that into a spreadsheet and try. What you have is the flash pages. That's where that ROM is located. You got the content, what's inside. The ID, what I call the ID4 is a 4-letter ID that it's when you want to map that into a 41CL that you have to use. What it is, and the CRC value and the date that has been updated. Okay, so the CRC, so that's the first thing you need to do. Then you have to download the ROM image from the website of Monte. Monte at some point took, he hosted all the ROM image that he used inside the 41CL and create that per year that you can download and then use that to update the 41CL. Now the issue that I had at that point was that ROM image, some ROM image was missing. The ROM that he had was not the same as the ROM that was in the 41CL. How I found that is to the YCRC, the calculation of the CRC of the image. Okay, I load some of the ROM into the CL and did a YCRC, and the CRC didn't match the spreadsheet. So when I discovered that, I stopped updating my 41CL because I was not, it was inconsistent. Didn't know if I didn't want to update 500 files into that, spend weeks doing this, and find at the end that half of it was not working, or some portion of it, and I didn't know how much. It was, so then I communicated with Monte, and Monte said, well, I didn't kept that at the time, so he rebuilt his files, and but didn't really do all the matching. So he gave me his basic program that he wrote to to calculate the YCRC value from a PC side, instead of me downloading an image to the CL, using that function of the CL to calculate the CRC for each file. So doing this, I modified his program and I run into all the file that was there. Took some time, then I get those CRC, and at that point, well, there was a lot of files that was not working. So the things that I had to find the files and reorganize this until at some point everything works. So what I did is basically expand the spreadsheet, and I added my calculation, the calculation from the basic program. Then, no, sorry, I wrote another program to extract from, that was another problem that I had. One of the two database image, there was some wrong CRC inside. So I got the ROM image in the CL that was giving me one CRC, the CRC inside the database that was different, the one on the file was different also. So, so that's why I create this and start having a baseline that was consistent all across. So that's the ROM, that's the PC version, that was the FLDB's returning mean, that's the function in the CL that's calculating the YCRC inside it. Okay, and my notes that's with putting at that. So basically I did that for the 512 files. Okay, and at the end of about 40, 50 hours, I was having a baseline that was consistent across, and I was at that point I was ready to update my 41CL. Okay, So the spreadsheet is in the, everything that I'm talking, the ROM image, I've put everything on the thumb drive. So, and also what I did, I'm going to go here, I create 64 folders, okay, and each folder having 8 files that map the sector of a flash, okay, and inside each file, each folder, I create a file module that has the file at the location it needs to go into the module. And we're going to use that to update the, with my semi-automatic program. It's going to go through that file, and then it's going to send a good file a good place. Okay? So, and this is done for the V3 and the V4. I didn't have time to do it for the V2 yet. I'm going to do it next week or the week after.
50 hours?
No, that time, no. This one's going to be fast because I already have the files. Okay, I just need to create 32 folders, put those, the file at the good place, create 32 modules.txt, and that's basically it. I don't need to rescan all the files and. Okay, and I also put where that information is coming and which one from which tools. Okay, when you want to initialize, basically, when you want to, if you do want to do it by hand, okay, what you need to do is basically deactivate the MMU. The MMU is the part that's mapping dynamically the module to the virtual location of the module into the 41. Okay, so you have to deactivate that, clear the configuration, set up the speed that you want to, because you want to do this fast, set up the serial port, and then copy those this ROM image into RAM. Why you want to copy that into RAM is because at some point we're going to update that image. And if it's from the flash, when I'm going to erase that flash, I will have no ROM running because I'm going to erase what I'm running from. Okay, so I need to copy two ROM, this one and the other one into RAM. And that map those RAM image into a virtual port. Okay, so that's, and this is written into the upgrade manual from Monte that I read about 5 to 10 times when I start this before, just to be sure that. Okay, so you copy that from flash to RAM, and then you plug it to the virtual port, and at the end you activate the MMU, and you do a cat2, and you're supposed to see those image. If you don't see it, then you screw up at some point. When you do power cycle, or what I do, it's basically after each power cycle, you set it on to, you don't want the calculator to do auto shut off. And if you remove and replug the RS-232 cable, at some point it's losing the turbo and the MMU. It's going to MMU off. You have to reactivate them. Okay. And well, that's it. Okay, so if you want to do a manual update of the two major files with the database file, FLDB and MDB, normally what you want to do that is to first, you want to specify where the location of the sector in flash where those two files are, and the RAM sector when you're going to copy over. Okay, so you have to look into, there's, Monty is created the file I show you at the beginning in the Excel file, okay, that has all the 512 entries. For each, you create, at each 8 entries, you get a sector, beginning of the sector, okay, and this is, you locate where is this file, and then you find the sector that's, it's part of it, and then that's, and the 810 that's the RAM sector, that the first page of the RAM sector that I'm using to copy over flash into RAM. Okay, so basically what you do is to take that address, you copy the 64K, and then you need to update the FLDB, which is located at the 7th slot of the 8th slot. That's where the FLDB is. And then you specify here the length with 4K, but it's 4K words, 16-bit words, so it's 8K bytes. Okay, because each instruction in the CL is 16-bit. And originally the instruction for assembly instruction is 10-bit, so we extend that to 16-bit, and it has bits for can I use this function in turbo mode or normal mode or so on. Okay, then you have to run a program here. I'm using the Ruby program that's going to transfer, talk through the USB to serial port and transfer that to the CL. So you have to start the transfer program for the PC and then start the import program on the CL in order to transfer that. Okay, so on the PC, sorry. Okay. So my ROM image here is locating to the folder 27. That's where it is. And I'm saying, run that program from Ruby, use that port, transfer the file, and then on the, I've entered that in alpha, and on the 41CL, I do Y import. And I have to do this in a certain way, okay, and when you do that, then the PC sending the 8K byte image, the 41CL is importing that, inputting that into the that location. And this is, and then we have to do it for the second one, the IMDB file. That's going to go into the 8417. That's the RAM page that you need to write. And then when that is done, then you have to erase the 0D8 page where those two files, the sector was that those two files are located into the flash. You erase that flash sector, then you need to copy back the RAM to flash with that instruction. And after that, I use the FLDB to check that ROM, is the ROM good? Because I can fail in writing into flash. If that happened, then we need to start over. Thank you. This is updating 2 files, and I have 500 files to do. So that's it. So at that point, I said, well, I need to find a way to get faster at this. Okay. I'm going to go back to this after that. So what I did is basically wrote a program on the 41 side, which is called CLUPD for updates. Okay, and I took the Ruby, Ruby program here, the PC41 RU, and modified it, and in order to customize it for my needs for doing the file image transfer. Basically, change the message that makes more sense with the focal program, and also use the module.txt file in order to do the file transfer, and I just need to do enter, 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 and that's it. Not need to do the all the long Ruby command for each 8 files. Okay, so basically that's what I've done here. The other program, like here, is basically the one that extracts the information from the database file to fill out the Excel file. I will rewrote all those programs in a month in one language. So right now I was a sysadmin at some point. So I wrote Ruby, Perl, anything that's scripting So I used the one that was faster for me at the time. Okay, my program is using, I use that overlay in order to do this fast. So basically, I do once the init, shift A to do init, and then when I do power cycle, if I start, I press A, B, C with putting on, menu enable, and then turbo 50. Okay, and then when I want to do file transfer, I write. We're going to see. I'm going to write the RAM, the flash sector in RAM, and press this, and it's going to copy over the the flash sector into RAM with all the things that the filling correctly in the RAM that's need to do, and then copy. And if I want to download one file or a file, I'm going to use this. And then the other one is going to be from RAM to flash. Okay. So this is what I explained what I just did. Okay, so when I do when I start a program and execute the global label, and it's basically like the init. And what it does is basically deactivate the menu, copy the flash to RAM, map the RAM to port. Like I explained at the beginning, what we're doing manually, this is done automatically for everything that you see the message as it goes along. Okay. If you do a power cycle, you press A, B, C. That's it, because when you're inside, everything has run. The program has mapped the key that needs to be mapped. Okay. If I want to update one sector, and I'm going to play a video at that point, but if I want to update only one sector, okay, this is the flash sector update. Okay, that's the file, the two files you need to update. When Monte release a new update, what he's putting on his website is basically the FLDB and the IMDB files. Okay, those two files are really the first two files need to update, because after that you are able to find which one is different from the one that you have through the IMDB calculation. Not the IMDB, but the YCRC calculation. Okay, so I update those two files, and with the program I execute -B. Okay, he's doing the copy to flash, the flash to RAM, and he's asking you that is right now I'm ready to copy FLDB. Okay, and then you just need to press RS when you're ready on the PC side. Okay, on the PC side you already start, but this is done through a command line. I don't have a GUI for that. So you start a command line, you have to have installed Ruby on your machine, and everything has to be set up. If you go to Gary Design's site, he's going to show you what needs to be done from installing his own Ruby program. So he needs, so that's basically it. And inside one slide before, I also indicated the sites, the location when you can get those files. So basically, at that point, what you say, and I'm going to download that file, and when it's ready, I'm going to press enter on both sides, RS on the 41 and enter on the PC side, and it's going to transfer. I'm going to do that after that when the transferring is done. The 41 is going to show you this, and then we just need to enter that on the PC, enter, and RS enter, and then when that is done, the second file is transferred, and then the 41 program is doing everything else automatically. Okay, he's erasing the sector, copy the RAM over the flash, verifying the YCRC, and if everything is okay, he's going to say thank you, updated. Okay, so it's not perfect. After that, what I run is the D key and I have a printer or a USB 41 attached to a serial port, and it's going to scan through the 512 ROM image. It's going to take about, I'm not doing this here, but it's take about half an hour. And for each ROM image, it's calculating the YCRC of each one, and it's giving you either dots if it's okay, or diff, it's different. When it's run, you have a report that has 512 lines, and you know exactly which ROM image you need to update. Okay, based on your own configuration.
Wow.
Okay, and you need to have those two files loaded first.
Yeah.
So you know which ones you need to update.
Exactly.
That's
so
awesome.
because
That's great.
because at that point when I didn't have that option, and I knew, and my 2012 was very old, so I knew that I had at least 300 pages of image to load. So it's about 40 sectors that I need to upload. But I didn't want to do, at first I said, well, I'm going to update the 64 and that's it. But I said, well, can I save some time? And I wrote the other program that's listing everything, and that saved me a couple of hours. So I'm going to show you the video. Shift B, okay, and it's going to start the program to do the two-file download. Download from the CL side, upload from the PC side. Okay, and on this side, you have the PC side, and you're going to see what I'm typing. In some time, because this is running. Okay, now at this point, it's ready to download the FLDB. So on the PC side, what I'm doing is typing. Pause it.
It's going. It's going.
Yeah. Okay, but I won't.
Oh.
Okay, it's gonna, basically when I type this, what happens is that you have that message saying that you're ready to transfer the file. Okay, and when you are ready, you have to start the import on the 41CL before pressing the other enter on the PC side, because that will not work if you don't do this. Okay, there's some synchronization that you have to do to make this work correctly. So basically this is look at the file, load the file, inverse the byte inside, because the file, I have to reverse the byte before sending that file to the 41CL. Okay, and then it's ready for that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to press RS here, enter here, and then it's going to download the file. When it's going to be ready, the other one here will show IMDb file, run start to download. And then here I'm going to redo the same command again. So I press enter here to say transferring to a CL, and when it's going to be ready, when it's going to be done, it's going to show done.
Sylvain.
Yes. Okay, so on second one, and here I'm starting the second file. It's ready, press, and I did it on the reverse side, but I did it fast enough, so I didn't lose anything. But normally I press, I'm going to type the file, enter is ready. The other one here, start, press RS and then enter. And once that's going to be ready here, on the 41 side, it's already erasing the sector. It's going to copy over, and then I'm going to go this because here it's taking about 3 minutes doing that. So updating a sector, it's about 3 minutes doing the copy. Yes?
And this is in turbo, or this?
This is turbo 50.
Okay. 50 minutes without it.
Okay, so I'm going to go fast forward here. Okay. And then at some point, okay, it's going to, sorry. Yes, it's going to do a DB check I'm checking the IMDb file, because the CRC, you need to check that. The FLDB file, you cannot check the CRC on it. It will never be valid because it's using this as a data. Okay, so it's using the date. It has a date timestamp at that place instead of the CRC. Okay, so you can only check the IMDb file. So that means at that point, okay, those files are updated and are validated. So I know that's good. So what I do basically after that, if I go back, I'm using the FLDBP, okay, and I'm specifying, I don't remember if that version is automatic or not, but either I'm specifying X 0.511, so for 512 file, or it's done automatically. There was a version that was automatically inside. So, and I run this. What I do normally is you have to unplug the serial cable before plugging a USB 41, okay, because if you don't do this, you're going to look up big time the 41CL, and it took me half an hour to get back on his feet. Okay, so so doing that then with the USB 40, you could do also if you have an HPIL, you plug the HPIL, you can do this because the MMU is active. You plug the HPIL, and if you have a pillbox, you can run a printer emulator on a PC and then get the result of the 512. If you don't have any of that, you use a standard printer and you connect to this, or you are very patient, you stay near your 41 for half an hour, and each time you see that's diff, you know, by hand, you write the address what you need to update. Okay, I'm not that patient, I have the other tools. So I let it go. Half an hour later, I come back, I have my list, and I know now at that point which file needs to be updated.
Cool.
Okay. And I'm going to rerun that program at the end. When I have finished updating all my files, I rerun the program to see if I screwed up.
No diffs, right?
Okay, no diff. But you're going to have, actually you're going to have one for the FLDB. Okay. And ones for each empty slots. Each empty slots will not be in the 512 pages. There's some empty slots in it still, about 10 or 11. Okay, those will diff, but this is okay. You don't. And you have the Excel file when you know you have everything. So also what I do is basically put the result from, I took the result from the listing on the PC side, copy over that, load that into a text file, select the 512 line and import that into the Excel, and I know, and I've put it at a good location, and I have a formula on the side that that's doing all the checks. That's saving me if I need to update or if everything's okay or not. So the next one, if you have to, I'm going to skip one, but override demo is when you need to download the 8 image. The full sector is no longer good. Like it's outdated. I don't want to update one just like I did for the DB. Okay, I had to enter the command 2 times on a PC in order to do this. Now, if I want to update the full page, this full sector, so 8 pages, okay, I'm going to use a module.txt file that I wrote for each folder. And basically, what I do is, again, from the terminal session, from the terminal side on the PC, I go into the folder when I want to, where the 8 I want to update. Okay. And normally I erase the RAM. Why? Because if I have a sector that is not full, I have empty slot in it, I don't want, if it's the second or the third sector that I'm updating, I don't want to put what was there onto the other sector. So I erase the sector first from RAM, Okay, so, and then I'm gonna load the 8 files or whatever files that need to be uploaded into the RAM. Okay, and then I'm gonna copy the RAM to flash. So basically, I start the G label, whose clear RAM routine is gonna clear the RAM automatically. Then I'm starting this subroutine that is copy 8 files. Okay, and then that is going to happen 8 times. For each file, it's going to give me, for 810, 811, 812, all the 8 image is going to ask me. And I'm going to just do at some point RS enter, RS enter, RS enter, and everything is done automatically. Okay, at the end, we do RAM to flash. This is this. Okay, so I'm going to show you that. That's going to be it. So basically here I call the program that's clearing the RAM. And then I press download 8 files. Okay, right now it's ready to download to the page 810. And on the PC side, I'm gonna go to the folder when I want to update, where I want to update, called the Ruby program. And then the module, and it's gonna take the first file into the module.file, and then I'm gonna press RS enter when it's finished. There is going to have another line here, RS enter, and it's going to go that for the 8 files. So I'm going to speed that up, but basically it's take about 2 minutes if you, and for each time it's finished, you're going to hear the beep. I haven't recorded the sound here, but I'm putting a high tone when it's okay, a low tone when it's not going well. Okay, so you don't need to look at this all the time because I'm using the tone because I was doing this at the same other thing at the same time, and each time it was finished, I said, oh, okay, it's ready. RS enter doing other stuff, and if something went wrong, then I was hearing a different sound. So I was looking at this and what's going on. Okay.
Can I send you my modules and you can update us?
Yes, I know it's not perfect, but this is a lot faster than doing the 512-page manual.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I try to support modding, and so I bought several of these modules that I haven't put in carcasses yet, and it's like, oh boy. Because I think they're like version 3 and 4. They're older boards. So.
No, 4 is pretty recent.
Yeah, but isn't there been a lot of update to the firmware?
Yeah, but only the low level, the page after 100, and then my V4 was 2015, and I had about, I'd say 50 images to update. In 2012, I had about 400. Okay.
This is the Monty Dalrymple full employment plan. Just keep buying the disc.
So that's gonna. I'm gonna go fast on this.
How much time do you
Sorry. I'm finished. Sorry. Okay. And when it's done, the download is done. I'm specifying. Sorry here. I'm specifying the register that's when I'm going to write to the flash, and I'm going to start this. And he's erasing the flash, copying over. Then again, this was going to take about 2-3 minutes. Okay, more than that. It's about 5 minutes, I think. No, it's 2 minutes. You're gonna copy that and then check the CRC, everything is okay. Now, the only way to speed, and when Monte also released that, each new file, you have to find the ROM, download that, check the CRC. There's a lot of manual process. Even that is semi-automatic. It's a little bit, it's faster than it was, but it's really not ideal. Okay. The only way will be to write an encode program on the CL and write a special program on the PC, and with an upgrade file that with all the instruction in it, what to download, where to download, what to do, a script basically, and a program that will read that script and send an instruction to the CL, CL doing what's needs to be done in order to do that. I can certainly do the PC side. On the encode side, I haven't done encode since 1985, 86, so I'm really outdated. The only one that could do that is really Angel. Okay. Monte, what he does is basically he's taking his 41 apart, okay, using the flash, and he's updating the flash in one shot. And I have all the parts to do it, and I was really tempted at the beginning to do it like that, but then not a lot of people, the people who has 41CL doesn't normally do this. So I try to create, I have a solution that was
Through the serial port.
through the serial port, so people who has 41 can do it, even if it takes some time to do it. Normally to update my whole 41CL took me 5 hours when doing this. The other one, the V4, took me about 2 hours. 1 hour and a half, 2 hours to do it.
What's your charge on it?
So that's it, I think. Oh, and I've put here the 41CL program, all the code that's inside. In the thumb drive, you got the listing, also the Ruby modification, the code modification to do it, and everything is going to be published on the phone. So,
I got one question.
Is it coming out with Jeff's quote?
No, my track record is better when
Canadians going at it.
I got one question.
Yeah.
The Monty's manual says in it, and you also said the same thing, that sometimes when you're writing a flash sector, it's not guaranteed to be correct.
Yes.
When you updated 512, how many bad did you get?
Never.
Never. Okay.
Never.
So that's
but
a
I run
theoretical.
through. I'm using rechargeable battery, and I think I changed 3 times my battery. I recharged 3 times. I have several of them, so I changed my battery at some point because erasing programming takes energy.
Oh, so well, of course, if the battery's low, so that's the only real possible cause.
Yeah.
I thought it was an instability.
But I doubt that if it's failed on the writing, you lose the flash. You just need to erase that again and then reprogram it.
Okay.
Okay, I had no issue with the V3 and the V4 that I did. Everything was smooth. Once my program were debugged and working, okay, basically it was, you have to be patient, do one at a time, and
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you very much.